Hello YouTube, it's Mandak coming at you with another podcast. So yeah, it's going to be another haul video. Today is the night of the Venom premiere, so to anyone who's going out to see that, I hope you enjoy the movie. I looked at some initial reviews. It's kind of so-so, kind of what everyone I guess thought with this movie. Not going to be too crazy or exciting, but hey, I'm going to check it out probably tomorrow or Saturday with my family, so we'll see how it goes. I might do a review of it on the channel, we'll see. Just like my quick thoughts and stuff like that. Anyway, I have a haul here. We're going to go through it today. Some stuff from Books a Million, Second and Charles, and Tales of Adventure again. So, a little bit of a mixed bag this month. A lot of good stuff. I guess it's going chronologically. Books a Million, I stopped by there this past weekend. I wasn't really looking for anything, and my screen froze up. Okay, I wasn't really looking for anything, but I found a few trades that I, wanted for my collection, so I got those. And then I went to Second and Charles on Tuesday, picked up some single issues and stuff like that. I also bought a record for an album that I really wanted, so that's the main reason why I went. And then I got some comics to kind of get me over the $25 mark, so I could use a $5 off $25 coupon. And then I went to Tales of Adventure yesterday, where I found a few more trades of things that I wanted, plus some single issues of Ironman that I needed. Not I wanted, I needed them. So I'm going to go through it today. As always, we'll start with the single issues and we'll work our way down. Pretty good stack here, mostly single issues. I would say about half single, half paperback and other collections. I have one oversized hardcover, which I wasn't really on the lookout for, but hey, I found it for like $10, so I bought it. But yeah, we'll get into it. So let's start. So I'll start with the Iron Man issues. So I was able to get some late Michelini and Layton issues from their first run that I didn't have in my collection. So first one here is Iron Man 145 featuring the Raiders. And these guys would go on to show up in the Armor Wars as part of that storyline. So, just more great Layton art. I'm pretty sure this is Layton. I think Romita Jr. is credited on the omnibus, as you can see right here. He's credited for the art, the drawing, but he was kind of in and out. I think he came in and then dove out like one or two times in that run, and Layton was the one who took up the pencils for those issues where Romita was not there. So, but most of these issues were co-scripted by Michelini and Layton. So Layton was doing the writing and the drawing for this series. So, but anyway, Iron Man 145. I've seen this issue really pricey at other places, so it was nice to get it for $1. Just another issue I don't have. Next one we have up here is Iron Man 146 featuring Blacklash, formerly Whiplash, which makes more sense. I don't know why he changed his name to Blacklash. Again, Blacklash is another B-list Iron Man villain that went on to be a part in not the Armor Wars story, but the Armor Wars prologue story. There was a whole event with him and Blizzard and the Beetle and all that stuff facing off against Force, I think his name was, yeah. So showing the back of him, and Iron Man kind of in pain there. So I think either the issue before or after this is the one where Iron Man's getting pulled down by his whip. I think this story is like a 2 or 3 issue crossover storyline where Blacklash shows up to try to sabotage Stark Industries, because that's what all of Iron Man's villains do, is try to attack Stark Industries. So yeah, so that's 146. So another cool issue to have. Last Iron Man issue I ended up getting for the stack was Iron Man 162, and this is into Denny O'Neil and Luke. I think it's Luke McDonnell or Luke O'Donnell's run. I should know that, but he's a great artist for Iron Man. Denny O'Neil's run is one of my favorites, so can't for the life of me tell you what this story was about. It's very early, Denny O'Neil, so he's still trying to find his footing with the character and all that stuff. So I think a lot of I remember reading this like 2 or 3 years ago. A lot of these stories were kind of like one-off issues. They weren't really tying into a storyline. It wasn't until Stain started showing up that it started becoming, a storyline that boiled up until the Ironmonger conflict in issue 200. So, but yeah, so this is really cool to have. Then next we get into my Guardians of the Galaxy issues. So let me put these in order and we'll get to them. Alright, so I picked all these up from Second Charles. So issue 26. This issue is kind of cool. You can see here it shows the team as they first were back in Marvel Superheroes number 18. That was their first appearance. So you can see here, there's a little bit of a retelling here of their origin. Kind of goes more into depth and kind of lines it up easier with the current run that was going on at the time. With Guardians of the Galaxy with Jim Valentino. So Marvel does this. DC does this. They're retconning the origin story to make sure it lines up with what they have and what their characters are. So really cool issue to have. I've read all these issues, by the way. I finished, I think it was, this past weekend, I finished all of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. So that was a crazy journey. Still need to do a bunch of podcasts on those. I'll get to those eventually, but just in retrospect, a whole run was just really crazy. Starting off with Jim Valentino, and then by issue 30, it gets transitioned over to Michael Gallagher, who takes it about another 30-some issues until the book got canceled. And I remember at the end of the last collection, they showed a letters page for the last issue, and people complained about it being canceled and being sad and all that stuff. So, it was a pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I don't think it didn't suffer from the '90s aspect and all that stuff. It was pretty good, all throughout. I mean, the quality dipped in some areas, but it was still, crazy '90s action till the end. So, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Next issue we have here is an Infinity War crossover, and this is issue 29. So for anyone who's read Infinity War, that story featured the Magus, which is the evil doppelganger of Adam Warlock, and that's pretty much who the heroes and Thanos team up to fight against. So and in that story you have the heroes facing off against their evil doppelganger versions that are evil and shit, and have teeth and are more vicious looking and stuff like that. So you can see here, that's kind of what we saw with this issue. Guardians really weren't tied closely with the Infinity War. Other than this, there really wasn't a lot of stuff. I mean, it's probably because they were in the year 3000, so they come back and they're on the moon, and they're like, what's going on Earth? And I think the Inhumans tell them about what happened with Infinity War. So, yeah, they really don't have much of a impact or presence in Infinity War. And maybe that's for the best. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many people were reading this back in 1993 or whatever it was, 94. Actually, it might have been 95. I'm not sure. Next issue we have here is Guardians of the Galaxy number 38. And you got, so as I discussed in a previous video, issue 20 is when Vance Astro gets his new suit that pretty much is Captain America, and I'm not sure if it's this issue or there's probably a previous issue, but at some point the Beyonder shows up and just gives Vance this black undergarment, which you can kind of see here, in his arms, and it lays dormant for a while until we get to a later issue where Vance gets his suit taken off from, I forget who it is. I think it's by Malevolent. Oh no, it's by Mephisto. Mephisto Malevolence face off against the Guardians, and Mephisto takes away the spells that Krugar's placed on Major Victory to keep him from aging outside of that suit. So what happens is that his Captain America suit gets torn off, and the Beyonder suit kind of symbiotes around it and gives him that classic look like he had when he first was encapsulated in the copper suit. So I thought that was funny, and it's kind of reminiscent of like the SpiderMan suit, the symbiote suit that he had at the end of Secret Wars back in the 80s. So, you know, cool thing there. That's a very long explanation. I'm going to keep moving on. I'll probably explain that in a podcast. I'll save it for that. And then we have the last issue that I got here for Guardians is Guardians of the Galaxy 47. And this is a face-off between the Beyonder and Protege. And Protege I do remember speaking about in my podcast for Guardians. Like I said, he can learn anybody's powers, and at this point he's just a real dick. Like, he's really trying to take over the world. He teams up with Mephisto and Malevolence, and then he has to go on trial for his crimes against humanity with like the Living Tribunal and Eternity all in attendance and all this shit. So it's really crazy cosmic shit that it's really hard to keep track of. But yeah, you can see here what I'm talking about with Vance's new suit. So you can see here, you know, kind of looks very similar to his original suit that he wore. So yeah, issue 47. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on a goal to collect all the Guardians issues. I mean, they're kind of cool to have, but I don't know. Maybe I can sell them as a set. Volume 1 of Guardians. $60. $60 for 60 issues. Excuse me. So the next group of issues I got here is Daredevil Man Without Fear. And I've actually read this in a collections, but I saw these covers, and I forgot how great they were. So I bought them. This is, you know, John Romita Jr. So, you know, mid or early 90s. So this really reminds me a lot of his what do you call? Reminds me a lot of his Ironman stuff from that same era. You know, he was doing a little bit of drawing for John Byrne's run of Ironman, and then eventually John Byrne took over and did the drawing himself. But yeah, so I'll show these covers. You know, they're all really nice too, all pretty good condition. So first cover right here, you have Ironman, Daredevil in the background, and you have Matt Murdock standing over his dad's body. So really cool. Sorry, let me just do this real quick for my computer. Remind me tomorrow. Perfect. So you can see here, really cool cover, really awesome to have, to be honest. Next issue we have here, probably one of my favorite in this whole group, is number 2. You can see here Elektra, and then Daredevil again in the background. Like I said, I've read Miller's run, so I am familiar with Elektra. When I was reading this whole, you know, all of Miller stuff, my friends did recommend to me to read this first, so I did end up reading this first before I was actually formally introduced to Elektra in Miller's Daredevil Omnibus, you know, run, whatever. But again, just great art. I think, pretty sure there's one panel in here where it's just a shot of Elektra, you know, full panel shot of her just standing, and like has like a crazy demonic look in her face, but still has that appeal that I guess Matt Murdock fell for. Issue 3, still some really cool stuff here. Elektra facing off against some villains, and you know, just some great art. You know, I really enjoyed Romita's art at this point. It didn't get to the point yet where everything was where it was really bad, so I enjoyed it. His Kingpin is really great, as I'll show in this next issue here. Kingpin just looks menacing as all hell. So, you know, just some great covers, some great art. You don't get to see this, you know, when something's on a shelf, but when you put this in a short box, you go pull it out sometime later on, you know, show to people, hey, I got Man Without Fear 1 through 5, show them the covers, they're just blown away. Obviously, the quality of the story represents perfectly equals the quality of the covers. And then the last one shows Daredevil with his classic yellow and red suit from the beginnings of his character, and then it quickly transitioned over to just red. So obviously paying homage to that era of Daredevil. So all those are, they're kind of like oversized issues. Oversized issues are a little bit longer than normal issues, but really cool to have. I'm excited to have those and put those on the wall. Maybe I'll put them on the wall. We'll see. I'm looking to get some more frames for stuff to display, so I'm trying to pick out which ones I want to display. So we'll see. So those are all my single issues. I took 15 minutes to talk about my single issues, so I'll get through the trades then. So this one I got at Books A Million. It is Warzone's Korvac Saga. And I know what a lot of people are thinking, Dan, why the hell did you buy that? It's a Secret Wars crossover. And the reason why I bought it was because it has 3 issues of Guardians 3000, which I'm looking to collect because obviously Guardians completionist must have it. But it also has a Korvac Saga, and Michael Korvac and the Guardians have a very long history together, dating back to the original Korvac Saga with the Guardians, and into Jim Valentino's run with the Korvac Quest. So I'm excited to read how this follows up, if it references anything from that storyline. You can see here it features all of the original team members from the original Guardians team. You have Nikki, Yondu, Martinex, Starhawk, Charlie 27, and then you also got Jocasta, Vision, Black Panther. I don't know why he's there. Hercules, and then you have Vance Astro, obviously. But yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. And I don't know. That doesn't look like that. Looks like Wonder Man. The W. Maybe I'll have to look at it. I'm pretty sure it's Korvac, but it looks like Wonder Man with that W on his chest. Because I'm pretty sure Simon Williams wears that for his suit sometimes. So, anyway, excited to have this because it's still Guardians related. So I want to read it and see what it is. If it's shit, it's shit. But I like having these characters, and these characters are great. So we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. It's a pretty thick trade too, not too thin. Next book I got, and this is to complete my Secret Avengers run. I'm trying to collect all Secret Avengers stuff as well. I'm trying to branch out and trying to get some more. I have New Avengers. I'm slowly collecting all that. Mighty Avengers, Uncanny Avengers. I have the Omnibus, and then I have Secret Avengers. So just trying to get this. This is the first trade of Nick Spencer's run. Pretty sure I haven't read this yet. I remember reading an issue of Secret Avengers one time. I don't think it was this run. It might have been the run after. But yeah. So Hawkeye, Black Widow, Coulson. It looks like Quake or Maria Hill, and then Nick Fury. So this is obviously heavily influenced off the movies. You can see here 2013. So right in the middle of the MCU's popularity spike. So yes, just another Avengers book to own. It's not in hardcover, like all my other Secret Avengers books are, but I don't really care. After Rick Remender's run, I'm probably not going to look for any hardcovers for any Secret Avengers stuff. But I do have Secret Avengers for Brubaker and for Spencer. Oh, I'm not sorry, that's not Spencer. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Warren Ellis, and then Remender. I have all their hardcovers for them, so I figured. And I got them for cheap too. I got them for like $5 a piece, so that's why I bought them like that. Okay, anyway, moving on to the next trade. We get into SpiderMan, Miles Morales, Volume 2. And this was a little confusing looking up, because technically I think it's SpiderMan Volume 2. It's not Amazing Spider-Man, so it's just called Spider-Man, and it's Volume 2, because Volume 1, I guess, was back in the 90s or something with Todd McFarlane. I'm not sure if I have that right, but yeah, so this is the second trade of that run. So this is following after This is following after. I heard a noise. I thought my roommate's back. um, so this is after, what do you call it? Secret Wars. So that was when the Ultimate Universe that Miles was in and the Peter Parker universe merged, I believe. Yeah, this is 2016, so it was after. So he's now in the same universe as Peter Parker and all that stuff. So this follows up after all that Ultimate stuff that I've read. So excited to read this. I just got to hunt down Volume 1 and however many trades there are of this. I'm not sure if this is still going on or if this has been canceled. Probably has been because Marvel can't keep titles alive anymore these days. Next trade I got is another Spider-Man book. Don't really have a lot of Spider-Man stuff on my shelf. I mean, I have the Omnibus, I have Ultimate Spider-Man, but I don't really have a lot of Spider-Man proper stuff. So I'm trying to get some more of that modern stuff. You can see here, this is Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows. And I think this is Volume 2, because Volume 1 technically was during the Secret Wars. It was a tie-in book that I guess was so good that they actually made an ongoing series out of it. I could be wrong, it could have just been a rebooted title, but yeah, just reading this. This came out in 2016, so it's still fairly new. And some of that art, wow, there's a lot of different artists on this book. Yeah, there's like 3 different artists on this book. So, written by Jerry Conway. So obviously he has familiarity with the character dating back to the original Clone Saga, the death of Gwen Stacy, all that stuff. So, excited to see how he goes with this. It's not Dan Slott, so I guess it can't be that bad. Anyway, next book I got here, got this for $5, is Steve Rogers' Super Soldier by Ed Brubaker. So, and Dale Eaglesham? I don't know how you say his last name. So, I remember seeing my friend pick this up earlier, and I picked it up because, Ed Brubaker does have a history with Captain America. Obviously, he wrote, I think, all of Volume 5 of Captain America. I think it was Volume 5, which featured the death of Captain America, Bucky becoming Cap for the first time, the Winter Soldier, all that stuff. So, this is a mini-series, so I'm excited to read it, and I picked it up for $5, so I figured I'd give it a shot. The art looks great. Whoever Dale Eaglesham is, I don't know if I've ever read anything from him. Pretty good art. So I'm excited to read it and see what's going on. So, yeah. Then we get into some hardcovers here. So, like I said before, with the Secret Avengers, trying to collect some more stuff. Marvel recently announced a complete collection for Rick Remender stuff. So I was kind of caught between a rock and a hard place because I already had the first hardcover, and I said, well, do I sell the hardcover and just get the complete collection, or do I try to find the other 2 hardcovers for cheap prices? And that is what I did. I found this for $5. First one I paid $5 as well. So, $10 for 2/3 of the complete collection already. I think that's a pretty good deal. You can see here more stuff. Black Widow, Hawkeye, Captain Britain. Shit, I forget what her name is. I'm gonna look it up. What is her name? I can't remember. I don't know if that's not Valkyrie. I think it is. It might be. I don't know. It's Valkyrie. And then you got Beast and then Agent Venom. So that's really cool. I'm excited to read this. And again, just another hardcover to match my set. So I think now I just gotta find Volume 3 and then I'll be set. I think there's only 3 volumes. I could be wrong. Next 2 books here were actually stuff that I saw there for a while, and I never picked it up because I didn't see the value in it until I realized that I'm gonna have to do I want to do a Hick marathon, and I know that's gonna require a little bit of heavy lifting. I do have some pieces already together. I have his Avengers stuff all together. I have his Secret Warriors stuff all collected. I'm planning to get the complete collections for his Fantastic Four stuff, but there is some stuff that he did in Ultimate Comics that I think ties in, at least from what I've heard. That's why I bought these, and it wasn't a big investment. So if it turns out I read these and I don't like them or I don't need them, I'll sell them. But the 2 that I bought here are 2 Ultimate Comics books. So these were after the Ultimate Comic heydays. This was kind of around the same time as, Miles Morales coming into the picture. So I bought Ultimate Comics Hawkeye. I'm assuming this is a miniseries, considering there's no volume number on the back or on the side. It's written by Jonathan Hickman, so I don't know if this ties into anything. But regardless, I mean, it's still Hawkeye. I'm still a big fan of him, so I'm excited to read this and see what it's all about. And these ultimate hardcovers look pretty nice on the shelf. So there's that. And then we get Ultimates Volume 2, and I'm pretty sure this ties into Hickman Stuff. You can see here Thor on the front. So I don't know how many volumes there are of this. This is Volume 2, so I still got to get Volume 1 at the least. And I do believe I also need to get Ultimate Comics Thor, written by him as well. I saw the paperback version. I didn't buy it because if I'm going to get all the hardcovers, I want them to all look the same on the shelf. I mean, it's probably still going to be there if I go back in a month or so. I don't see anyone going out there to pick that up right away. So, yeah. So I picked up this for $5 as well. These were all from Tales of Adventure. They were all $5 each, which is a pretty good deal. Some of them, some stuff over there were thick trades. Some of them were like this. Anything like a normal size trade for $5 is a deal to me, I think. And there's no tax on this for some reason either. So, whatever. Not my problem, I guess. So those are the hardcovers. The last book I have here is an oversized hardcover, so I'll go over this real quick, and that is Secret Wars. I don't know why I hesitated there. I was going to do a little drum roll, but never mind. So Secret Wars. This is the 2015 event that came out. I have all this in singles because when it came out, that was like my pseudo reintroduction to comics when this came out. So I actually went to my local shop and said, I want to get Secret Wars. Can I set up a pull list? And that's what I did. I bought all 9 issues. So have them all preserved. I might just sell them. I don't know. I'm not really. We'll see. I like having them just to have them, but all of them feature Alex Ross covers. And you can see on the back here. So it's fine. When I started reading this, I actually read about half of it, didn't finish it, and it's one of those events where you probably could figure it out, the main scheme behind it, without much context. But I feel like reading all of Hickman's stuff leading up to this is beneficial. It helps puts a lot more context behind the story. And that's kind of what I want. Like, if I want to read a story, I want to make sure I understand it as fully as I can. Now I understand it's annoying to have to do that, to have to read other material to understand something. But if that's the case, I'm willing to do that. It's not really a big deal to me. It's kind of cool, like just hunting down stuff and trying to piece together the parts of a larger spanning story across multiple titles. So I got this, so this is a good thing to check off that list for Hickman stuff that I'm trying to hunt down. But yeah, I went to Books A Million and they were selling this for like $12. I got it for another $1 off, so it was about $12 for this. So for an oversized hardcover, that's 3 years old. Pretty good deal, I thought. So the fun part is gonna be trying to find a place to put this on my shelf because my shelves are. Yeah, I gotta find a better way to spread them out so that I can fit some stuff in there when I make purchases like this. So that is my entire haul, guys. Not a lot of stuff this week, but still took 30 minutes to talk about. So obviously I know that I'm still trying to catch up on a lot of podcasts, so I'm gonna try to do that. Work has just been hectic for me. I haven't really had a lot of time to sit down and really do stuff. I've been putting a lot of myself into work. I've been saving my weekends free for doing things, but it's just been tough, as many people can probably attest out there. So haul videos are always the easiest thing for me to just sit down and do real quick because it doesn't take that much preparation. But yeah, I'm going to try to get another Guardians podcast done. I know some people have been requesting Epic Collection podcast. I'm definitely going to try to do that at some point. It's just all a matter of if I have time. So hopefully I do. So I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you guys enjoy Venom. Let me know down in the comments, anyone who's watching this video, what you thought of Venom. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.